What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got another IPL daily review. Of course, we've got the Rajasthan Royals. They end up winning by 23 runs against the Mumbai Indians, the 9th match of the season. I tell you what, we are getting through these. We've almost had 10 games of the IPL. Well, no, sorry, we have already had 10 games of the IPL, which feels like it literally just started 2 days ago, but it really didn't. I mean, they play so many matches every day. It's really, the season, I guess, does go pretty quick, which can be a good thing. But hey, let's just get straight into the review. I mean, it was a good scoring game of cricket. The pitch isn't exactly like this batting paradise. It isn't doing a whole lot for the bowlers. You might get a teeny bit of swing if you're Trent Bolt, but that's really about it. There wasn't a whole lot to go on. With the pitch, I mean, it's not like there was pure pace and bounce on it. It was a really nice deck for the spinners as well, which is at the D.Y. Patil, right? Yeah, the D.Y. Patil. I just had to make sure that I got that one right. But hey, if you guys are new, subscribe. If you like IPL, what are you doing? Subscribe. You'd be silly not to. But all right, let's get straight into the review. Player of the match was the man himself, Jos Buttler, 100 out of 68 deliveries. I mean, what a knock. Seriously, he makes the first ton of IPL 22 or 2022, and it was a really good 100. It's a match-winning 100. It's a very classy knock from Buttler. It's some of the best striking he's had in a while. Of course, coming out of Test cricket and stuff like that, it's hard to adapt from format to format, but he's done it really well. And 100 off 68, that's really as good as you can get. It's the best score of the season. So, credit to Jos Buttler. Look, am I Jos Buttler's biggest fan? No. Do I like Jos Buttler? No. Look, is he English? Sure. But, hey, great knock. You have to give credit where credit's due. Look, I'm not the biggest Buttler fan. Look, he's had a couple of controversial things in the past. I still remember that. I will never forgive Jos Buttler for that one time where he was keeping in a test match. And I think it was against the Windies or it was against South Africa. I can't remember. But there was a fielder. He threw the ball in and it hit the batsman. I think it might have been Pollard? Maybe? Who was it? I can't remember. But it hit him and Buttler was behind the stumps and was swearing at him and calling him all sorts of names. Like, there's banter. And then there's just flat out abuse and being a C word. So, Buttler, look, that was years ago, but I will never forget. Hey, 11 fours, 5 sixes. He was really good. Won the match for Rajasthan. So, congratulations to him. That was a great knock to watch, especially if that was David Warner, I would have been creaming. So, hey, well batted. Jaiswal, unfortunately, just can't seem to find last season's form. Out for one. Now, what do you do if you're Rajasthan? I mean, you're winning games, but your top order isn't exactly firing. I mean, Buttler, of course, amazing. Sanju, your captain, amazing. Shimron Hetmeyer in the middle order has been superb. He is a class hitter. He's a great finisher, Hetmeyer. So that's awesome. But your two youngest, well, who's older? I think Padikkal might be older than Samson. But obviously Jaiswal is. But whether they're age or not, these are your two players, of the future as well. Jaiswal, Padikkal. I think next game for Rajasthan, it would be worth maybe switching Padikkal and Jaiswal. Jaiswal into 3, Padikkal into open, or maybe Jaiswal down to 4, Samson into open. Like, there's a few combinations they should try as well. And maybe it's Rian Parag, you get up the order, and then you can bring Jaiswal down to a 5. I mean, it's just, there's plenty of options. And I don't think it's good to just leave one player in the same position, especially when they're young. Let them experience how it is to bat at 5. To bat at 4, they're going to learn so much and become such a better cricketer for it. So that's why I'm always advocating for the lineups to change and just switch positions, especially in the IPL, because it can win matches. So we've seen it plenty of times. It really is effective. Deved up Padikkal, as we spoke about, 7. Unfortunately, just Tymel Mills. He bowled really well, Tymel. Again, am I the biggest Tymel Mills fan? No. If you guys don't know, I'm not a Tymel Mills fan at all. I don't think he's very good. But hey, he shut me up with this game because he bowled really well. We will get to the bowlers at the moment. But, I mean, he thrives in Indian conditions, like an AJ Tye. He has plenty of variations with the ball. Bowls knuckle balls, slower balls, off cutters, leg cut. Like, he can do it all, like an AJ Tye. That's why bowlers in India, pace bowlers, who bowl those 120s to 130s are so important with ball in hand, like a Ty or a what's his name? Bloody Tymor Mills. So, something like that. I'm trying to think of other medium paces around the league. Arshdeep Singh's another one. Younger, but obviously has that same sort of variation. Tall left-hander as well. So, Time was the left. The left-handers seem to succeed in the IPL as well, which for some reason, the pace bowlers. All right, the captain, Sanju Samson, in at 4, 30 off 21. Look, came out with intent, was just trying to get on strike because Butler kept stealing all the strike and making all the runs. Samson, he tried. 30 not bad. Hetmeyer, who came out and just hit a lazy 35 or 14 deliveries, 3 4s, 3 6s, 250 strike rate. This was a guy, Shimron Hetmeyer, that I was huge on in the auction. I said, this is a guy that I wanted at Punjab. I think what Punjab, especially last season, we had no finisher. We haven't had a guy who could come in at that 5, 6, 7 area and win us a match or win us a run chase or finish off the innings with a quick fire 35 or 14. We just haven't had that guy. And this year, we're relying on a lot of other guys to try and come in and fill that role, like a Shahrukh Khan or whoever else. I don't know how I find a way to talk about Punjab, but, it's just a comparison. But, yeah, Hetmeyer, he was a great pickup for Rajasthan. Riyan Parag, 5, look, not great. Ashwin out for 1. He tried to sneak 2 runs. It was never going to work. Navdeep Saini out for 2. And Trent Bolt, the man, not out for 1. All right. The Mumbai Indian bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah into the side. 3 for 17 or 4. This is what Bumrah does. What else is there to say about Bumrah? He takes wickets. He's very economical. He's the best bowler in the league. What else can you say about that? Dan Sams, unfortunately, just not getting going with the bat or with the ball in hand at the moment for Mumbai. First 2 games have been rough, but I think you give him another game. Give him another game. Look, I know Mumbai are losing. I know that hurts, but I think you'd rather play a Daniel Sams than a guy who is 39 and sitting on your bench, sort of thing. So, look, Dan Sams, not a great start with the ball, but again, he's another one of those bowlers who can bowl quick, has plenty of variation, bowls a great slower ball. That's his massive strength, and also is a great finisher with the bat. But I think, the coach just has to sit him. I think Sachin has to sit him down and say, Daniel, stop going out there and trying to hit the first ball to Jupiter. Just block or just run a single, get yourself going. He looks nervous out there. He looks like he doesn't want to do anything wrong. It looks like he just wants to go out there and try and... obviously he's going out there to do his best, but, first ball, you don't need to be hitting it up into the sky and going out. When did he go out? Oh, no, we'll have a look in a moment. I'm still on the bowlers. Basil Tampi, look, couldn't follow up last game. None for 26 off just 1 over. Yeah, Sanju Samson was... Sharma was not going to bowl him again, which is probably a fair... And that's good captaincy in my eyes. If a player goes for 26 in his first, just bench him. Just sit him on the bench for the rest of the game. Don't ruin any more of their confidence. Especially, someone like Tampi who played so great in their first game, and then to have an average game, you don't want to ruin their confidence and put him out there for another 3 overs. He gets hit for none for 60, and then he's all of a sudden on the bench for the rest of the season sort of thing. So, smart captaincy from the hitman. Murugan, Ashwin, none for 32 off 3. Tymor Mills was... Yeah, him and Bumrah were the pick of the bowlers. Sharma, he bowled Kairon Pollard 4 overs. Now, look, I know I just said that Tampi, it's a good thing that he only bowled 1. But I would have at least rather bowled Tampi at least 1 more over than giving Pollard 4. He's never going to be as quick as he once was, of course. He barely runs in with the ball. He's a big unit. There's a lot of muscle and a couple of meat pies to carry on that rig. So, look, of course he's not going to come in like he used to, steaming in, bowling 145s, but he's getting around those 120s, 125s. He still has a really good slower ball as well, which is, got him his only wicket, 1 for 46 off 4. Super expensive, but... I think I've seen a lot of slander and a lot of disrespect to Kairon Pollard on Twitter. After the Mumbai loss last night, I went on their Twitter. And look, maybe Twitter's not the right place to get the real fan. Maybe not to get the real, because there's a lot of trolls on Twitter. But, a lot of people saying Pollard, he couldn't finish off the game for us. He bowled shit. It was his fault. Like, firstly, it's a team effort. And secondly, look, he didn't bowl great, but it's not like he got hit for none for 72 off 4 and then made 5 runs off 31 balls or something. Like, he still put in an effort and he still had a better game than, if we're going to compare, Dan Sams. So, I don't think you can, hate on the man Pollard. He's given so much to this Mumbai franchise. It would be a shame to see the fans hang shit on him and try and get him to go out when Pollard has said that how much he loves Mumbai Indians like it's his second country hometown. So, if you're a Mumbai fan, just send nothing but love to the big man Pollard because, he's been an absolute warrior for Mumbai and not just for Mumbai, for cricket in general. All right, the Mumbai Indians, though, they had a target of 194 to get the win. 194 is always a great total. But on this pitch, definitely achievable. So I gave Mumbai Indians every chance to go on and get a win here. Ishan Kishan, 54 of 43. He is the leader of this team in the runs department. And to think that they didn't even retain Ishan Kishan, they retained Suryakumar Yadav, who isn't playing, and they let Ishan Kishan go into the auction and then paid a massive price for him. Of course, they got in a bidding war with the Punjab Kings, who, of course, if we got Ishan Kishan, I would have cried, and I would have been so happy, and it would have made my life. But that's okay, Ishan. That's okay. We didn't need you. He's batting really well, and he was always a guy that Mumbai just had to bring back. To set up your core with a guy like Ishan, Tilak Varma, Amarpreet Singh as well. Suryakumar Yadav still has to come back in to this team. You've got Bumrah. You've got a great selection of, you've got Basil Tampi in there, you've got Time. Like, they've got a really good team. It's just disappointing to see the Mumbai Indians still without a win, which is surprising. I had Mumbai to finish second, which, again, it's a long season. Anything can happen from here, but you never want to start a season without a win after a few games. Otherwise, you're really under the pump early. Rohit Sharma, the skipper, look, he just can't make any runs at the moment. 10 off 5. He's a great captain. He's a great leader. He's a great teammate, I'm sure. He's a great person. But he just has to get back in the runs column. There's nothing worse than when your captain can't make runs weeks on weeks end. So, we're hoping Rohit can go big in the next game and score some runs. But he hasn't scored many runs recently. So he's really got to get back into the runs. If Mumbai are any chance at going to the top of the table, they need Rohit to start firing. He's their guy, Rohit. He's the best white ball batsman arguably in the world. So, when you've got him in your team and he's your captain and you can't win a game, they need it. They need something out of him. That's all I'm going to say. When you're the captain, you got to stand up. So, hey, I'm not saying he's under pressure. I'm just saying in the next Mumbai game, we will all be watching Rohit very, very closely because he needs to at least make 35. At least make 35 plus. Because, when Virat is having an off year or an off season, Virat normally goes on and gets to like a 35 or 40. And it's like, that's not a bad score. It's just not amazing. But at 40 is still better than 10. So, come on, Rohit. We believe in you, Mr. Hitman. Amarpreet Singh out for 5. Tilak Varma came in. I want to go to where were they? So 1 for 15, 2 for 40, and then Tilak Varma comes in and just absolutely creamed everything to the boundary. This guy's exciting. A tall, left hand, just beast. He plays spin so beautifully, uses his feet amazingly. There was 3 shots in a row where he skipped the crease to, I think it was Yuzi. He just skipped the crease and to Riyan Parag, I think it was. That one over off Parag where he went for 11, I think it was. That was pretty much mostly Tilak Varma. He just hit 2 sixes in a row, I think it was, or something. But, the back foot drive, the way he gets up the pitch, uses his feet, skips to the spinners, and so effortlessly just drove it straight over deep mid-off's head. Deep, is that position called deep mid-off? I think so, that'll do. But he's exciting. He's as good as it gets as young talent in the IPL at the moment. And shit. Hey, if Robert's not going to score it, stuff it. It means the big man Tilak Varma's going to step up. Kyron Pollard going for 22 off 24. Look, he got close. He almost gave Mumbai a chance. They needed 41 off 10, and then he came in, hit a few boundaries. And then in the last over, they needed, 29 or 6 balls. Hit the first ball for 4. There was a few wides from Navdeep Saini as well. And then, just couldn't get the job done in the end, unfortunately. Big man Pollard. Tim David gone for 1. Again, this is where they need, more runs. They need more runs out of this late tail end / early middle order. Tim David, who's meant to be a massive signing. This is meant to be the signing that can change a team. Tim David had a great BBL, had a great PSL, has been in some really great form with not only bat but ball as well. But then he comes to the IPL, he plays a few games, and he's not bowling. They're not bowling him at all, which I think's a mistake. I think you should be bowling Tim David. I think he's got at least 1 to 2 good overs in him. Every game can slow down the run rate. Maybe you give him the first over of the game, just to tick an over, get an over done. And I've seen a lot of people again on Twitter, Tim David, he's a BBL merchant, he's a PSL merchant, he only makes runs in these bad leagues. Firstly, the PSL and the IPL, the BBL are really good cricket leagues in the world. So let's just get that out of the way first. And secondly, I agree. He needs to do something. So, but he will. He's a great cricketer, and I think he'll respond. Dan Sams, as we spoke about, what are you doing? Not only did he come out first ball when his team needed some runs, needed stability, could not lose another wicket, and Dan Sams, first ball after losing a wicket, just says, fuck this, I'm sending the ball to the moon. And straight into Joe Butler's gloves, hands, which, by the way, was an amazing catch from Josh Butler. I will give him credit for that. It's just not good enough from Dan Sams. And if I'm the Mumbai Indians, if I'm Rohit Sharma, I'm sitting Daniel Sams down in the rooms after the game and saying, obviously you would say it a lot nicer than I'm going to say it, but I would say, Daniel, if you don't pull your fucking finger out of your bum, you're not playing another game all season. So please, when you go out there and we need runs and stability and cannot afford to lose a wicket, please do not go out there and try and hit the first ball to Pluto. That would be appreciative. And then that was a hat-trick ball, and then next ball, Murugan Ashwin came out for the hat-trick ball, edged it to first slip, and it was dropped. I could not believe the man Yuzi Chahal missed out on an IPL hat-trick. I was so upset. He deserved it. It was a beautiful ball, and he didn't get it. He just didn't get it. Unfortunately, dropped at first slip / a second slip. Who was it? Who dropped it? It was, when I see the name, I'll know. Was it Parag at first slip? Was it? It might have been Parag at slip, I think, but whoever dropped it, come on, you have to hold them. I know, and it was a really tough catch. He had to go down to his left hand and try and hold on to it. It was, it came quick. It was a big moment in the game. Luckily, Rajasthan got the win. But if Murugan Ashwin came out and got dropped first ball for the hat-trick and then went on and hit about 3 sixes in a row and Rajasthan lost, then I think that would be a big talking point about the dropped hat-trick ball. But Rajasthan, they get away with it. Bumrah came out. None for one, didn't have to obviously do anything. Into the Rajasthan bowlers, this is where the magic happened as well. Trent Bolt, who is just bowling fantastic at the moment against his old team as well. So that one would have felt nice to get a win over his old team. Prasid Krishna, 1 for 37 off 4. A pitch like that doesn't really favour Krishna, but he still is able to bowl 135s, 140s, get plenty of bounce. He's just a big fella who can bounce the motherfucking ball. He's really, really good. He just needs to get a few variations right. Just his length he needs to get right. When he tries to bowl a fuller delivery or a Yorker, it's just straight and gives the batsman any movement to put the ball wherever he wants. So, obviously, there's still a lot of improvement in Krishna, but he's going to get a lot better. Navdeep Saini bowled okay, 2 for 36 off 3. Look, he bowled 1, got the win, takes 2 wickets. That's actually, bowled pretty well. A little bit expensive, but you take 2 wickets, I don't think it really matters. Ashwin, 1 for 30 off 4. Yuzi Chahal, 2 for 26 off 4. The combination of Ashwin and Chahal is just disgusting. The fact that Ashwin and Chahal both play on the same team in India in a T20 is scary. If you're in a final against Rajasthan and you have to face Ashwin and then the next over Chahal and then back to Ashwin and then back to Chahal, you're in trouble. Like that is the most dangerous bowling combination in the league at the moment. The Ashwin to Chahal. It is scary because you come across two of the best spinners in T20 cricket at the moment on a spinning deck. You're going to be fucked essentially. So that's dangerous at the moment for Rajasthan. And then Parag, none for 11 off 1. I still don't understand why he bowls. I can understand, I guess an over here and there, but it's weird how they bring Parag on to bowl late in the game. Like, if you're going to bowl Parag and over, wouldn't you get it out of the way early just to try and get through and over of the game, I would have thought. But, hey, Ashwin knows better than me. I mean, that's obvious. So, all right. Mumbai lose. Let's have a look at the table while we're here. Rajasthan, 2 games from 2. They're looking cozy at the top. Kolkata, we got Gujarat, which I'm about to do that review after this one, so check that out if you're watching this. DC, LSG, RCB, Punjab, CSK, Mumbai Indians. None for 2. So is CSK. I mean, who would have thought? The 2 top teams from last season are sitting down the bottom. Who would have thought? And SRH, of course. Do they even count? Sure. I mean, I hope Sunrisers can get a few wins this season, but we're praying for you, Sunrisers. We are praying for you. All right, into the stats, just to have a look at the orange and purple cap at the moment. Ishan on top, equal with Jossie Boy Butler. You got Sampson in there, Faf, Dre Russ, cool. All right, the wickets, Umesh Yadav still up there, Shami, Southee, Hasaranga, and Yuzvendra Chahal is at the top now. And of course, Joe Butler's now at the top with the highest scores, so congratulations to him. It's a great ton. So, hey, that will cap it off, guys. Rajasthan looking dangerous, looking very, very dangerous. A great win for them. Great knock from Butler. Mumbai, they've got some problems. I hope we see Dewald Brevis brought in next game because he's a future star, and why would you not play him? That makes no sense to me. Whether you bring him in for Amalapreet Singh or it's pretty like for like in at number 3, maybe you